In the previous lesson of this regular expressions course, we looked at special characters and we established that special characters are symbols in regular expressions which have special meanings. We looked at 4 special characters, and this lesson is a continuation where we look at 3 more special characters. Now also, if you remember from the quantifiers lesson, we established that quantifiers allows you to specify a certain number of repetitions for characters in your regular expressions, and the syntax is curly brackets where you have the minimum and you have the maximum repetition. And I mentioned in that quantifiers lesson that apart from the curly bracket syntax, there are also some special characters which can be used for quantifiers. I don't know if you remember, but this is the lesson where we look at that. So in this lesson, we'll be looking at 3 special characters that can be used for quantifiers in your regular expressions. The first we'll be looking at is the optional special character, which is represented by the question mark symbol. The question mark represents the optional special character based on how you use it in your regular expression. If you use it in a different way, the question mark can do other things. Now, as an optional special character, which is also a quantifier in this case, it matches 0 or 1 of the preceding character in your regular expression, and that is why it's called optional. Optional here means it either exists once or it doesn't exist at all. Let's take a string for example. Let's say we have a string like she has 5 apples and her brother has 1 apple. Now what if we wanted to write a pattern that matches apples and also matches apple? If you think of a pattern like APPLES, you can see it matches this, but it doesn't match this. And if you take a pattern like APPLE, you can see it matches apple here, it matches apple here, but it doesn't match apples. So how can we write a pattern that would match apples where there is an S and would also match apple when there is no S? Then this is where we can use the optional special character. And we do that, like I said, with the question mark. So after the character here, which is the S, if you have a question mark like this, what you are saying is match A followed by P followed by P followed by L followed by E, then followed by S, which may exist once or may not exist at all. So this would match apple without S and it will match apples with S. And you can see in the result here, it matches APPLES and it matches APPLE. Let's see another example. Let's say we have a string like he is number -20, I am number -54, and she is number -1. Now let's say we want to write a regular expression that would match number hyphen and then a couple of digit characters. So it will match number -20, number -24, and number -1. So here let's say we have a pattern like number hyphen and then we have a character class of 0 to 9, or instead of using the character class of 0 to 9, we can even use the digit meta character, which is /D, and then we have another /D, which means 2 digits, or we can use a quantifier like 2, which means 2 digits. Now you can see here it matches number -20 because 20 is 2 digits. Then we have number -54, 54 is 2 digits, but you can see this doesn't match number -1 because we have only 1 digit here. If I put a 2 here to make it 12, you can see it matches. But how can we tell a regular expression that the digits can be made up of 1 character or it can be made up of 2 characters? Now using the quantifier with curly brackets, we can simply have something like minimum of 1, maximum of 2. Like this, you can see it matches number 20, number 54, and number 1. Or with the optional special character, we can do something like /D, which is the first digit, and then the second digit is optional. By putting a question mark at the end of this second digit, it means match all of these if we have number -digit or if we have number -digit. The second digit can exist 0 or 1 time, and as you can see, it matches number -20, number -54, and number -1. Let's say we make these 3 digits. Let's say number 202. I would leave 54 the way it is, and let's say this is 1 digit. You can see this does not match number 202 completely. What I can do again is I can have another digit meta character and have a question mark. So that means match a digit followed by an optional digit, which can also be followed by another optional digit. But now our regular expression is beginning to look a bit ugly, so we can simplify this by saying the curly brackets quantifier minimum of 1, maximum of 3. So again, you can see there are different ways to do things, but I'm just showing you examples where you can use the optional special character instead of using the curly bracket syntax. So when using the optional special character, you can think of it as the preceding character is optional. Either the character does not exist or it exists exist only once. Moving on to the second special character, we'll be looking at the one or more special character, which is represented by the plus symbol. Depending on how you use the plus symbol in your regular expression, this can stand for one or more. Now, as a quantifier, in this case, the one or more special character, as the name implies, matches one or more of the preceding character. Let's see an example. Let's say we have a string like they have $200, he has $1, and she has $5,000. Now, let's say we want to write the pattern that would match $200, would match $1, and would match $5,000. So here we can have a pattern like we have the dollar symbol, and because the dollar symbol by default is a special character, but we want the normal dollar symbol, we can use the escape special character. I hope you remember. So after this, then we can have digits like this, and let's say we have a quantifier of 3, which means match 3 digits. You can see this matches $200, fine. It doesn't match $1, and it doesn't match $5,000 complete. It only matches $500. Using the one or more special character, we can come here and we can put a plus here. And what this means is that match a dollar symbol followed by 1 digit, or followed by 2 digits, or 3 digits, or 4 digits, or infinity number of digits. So even if I come to this 5,000 and I put more digits, you can see everything matches because the plus special character, which is the one or more special character, matches one or more of the preceding character. And if we want to use the curly brackets quantifier for this means 1, infinity, close the curly bracket. So this is another way that you can do it, or instead of having something like this, you can just have the one or more special character. So when using this special character, you can think of it as the preceding character must exist at least once. It can be repeated as many times as possible, but it must exist. So coming back to this example, if I take away this 1, you can see the dollar symbol is not matched because this is 1, it must exist at least 1, then more times. If I have the question mark here, which is the optional, you can see that the dollar symbol here matches. That is because these digits is optional, but when you use the plus, it is not optional. It has to exist at least once, and then it can be repeated as many times as possible. And then moving on to the third special character, the 0 or more special character, which is represented by the asterisk or the star sign. Again, based on how you use the asterisk, this can be a 0 or more special character, and as a quantifier in this case, it would match 0 or more of the preceding character. Let's take a string example. Let's say we have a string like he brings boring, a couple of O's. I don't even know how many O's this is, but let's say we have ing and then we have jokes. And then let's say we use a pattern like boring, but then O can be repeated multiple times, right? Which in this case is repeated multiple times. In this case of bring, we don't even have an O here. So by putting an asterisk after the O like this means match B followed by 0 or 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or infinity O's followed by ring. As you can see, it matches bring. Bring here has 0 O's or 0 O's. I don't know. We also have boring matching here, which has 1 O. And then we have boring also matching, which has, I don't know what the count of this is, but it has a couple of O's. So when you use this special character, you can think of it as the preceding character can be optional or it can be repeated as many times as possible. So these are the 3 special characters that can be used as quantifiers in your regular expressions. As we saw here, these special characters are just a shorter way of writing quantifiers. Instead of using curly brackets and using a minimum or maximum value, you can use these special characters. But in the case that you want to have a fixed number of repetition, then you would need to use the curly brackets. And what do I mean by this? Well, looking at this example again, let's say we want to have a fixed repetition of maybe minimum 1 and maximum 5 like this, then you need the curly brackets quantifier because this way you can be able to control a number of repetitions. Because if you use the star here, the star means 0 or more. More can be 10,000, 5 million. I haven't tried that before, but more can be anything. If you use the plus, it's 1 or more. If you use the question mark, however, this is a bit more controlled because you have 0 or 1. But like I said, when you want to have something specific or a certain repetition repetition that you can control, then use the curly bracket with a minimum and maximum. But if you just want to do something like 0 or 1, 0 or more, 1 or more, then you can use these special characters. Now, as I've seen in this special character lesson, these are symbols that have special meanings in regular expressions, and we have actually seen a couple of special characters so far in this course. For example, in the quantifiers, we have the opening curly bracket and closing curly bracket. These are also special characters because they have a special meaning. We also saw capturing groups where we use opening and closing parentheses. These are also symbols that have special meanings. So you have a symbol character in a regular expression that has a special meaning, then that is a special character, and we have a lot of them in regular expressions. So a summary of all the special characters that we have looked at from the previous lesson to this lesson: we looked at the wildcard special character, which matches any character except a new line. We looked at the beginning special character, which looks for a match at the beginning of a string. We looked at the ending special character, which looks for a match at the end of a string. The escape special character, which escapes other characters. The optional special character, which matches a character with 0 or 1 occurrence. The one or more special character, which matches a character with 1 or more occurrences. And the 0 or more special character, which matches a character with 0 or more occurrences.